Alright everyone, it's difficult for brick and mortar businesses at this point because of the lockdown restrictions, some businesses aren't allowed to open and others are like, they can open but they can't be at full capacity. Now, if I've got a business, let's say I've got a restaurant, I got 10 workers, and I'm told I can only have 50% capacity, I only need 50% of the workers. It's inefficient to have them all aboard, so half of them are going to stay on unemployment. And I think that blue state governors and blue city mayors and stuff, they want this to happen. They want to do as much damage to the economy as possible in the lead up to the coming election because they're assuming that that'll help Trump not get reelected so that they can jerry-rig Biden in there and enforce their authoritarian stupidity. That being said, the Atilis gym in New Jersey has been in the news several times now. They closed it up. They literally boarded up the storefront, the windows and the door and so forth to keep people out because there were violations of coronavirus restrictions. So essentially, they wanted to be on a paying basis. And think about the sort of people that, generally speaking, are going to a gym. If you're gonna go work out, you're probably not coughing and hacking and sneezing everywhere. You're probably not at least symptomatic. You can wipe things down with disinfectant. Okay, social distancing in the gym. Well, you know, those machines are a certain distance from one another anyway. It's not really a problem. The New Jersey governor, though, decided to crack down on them, and part of it was probably because they were critical of the governor. Again, it's difficult to be right when the government is wrong, because then the government likes to come in and abuse people. They decided, hey, you know, we're going to go broke. We still got to pay for the fact that the business is there. There are fees associated with that. The building still needs to be maintained. You know, we still need to be able to make a living. This is our source of income. So the dudes that run it, they ended up kicking down the plywood and reopening their gym unilaterally. So now they've revoked their business license. This is pure and unadulterated tyranny. To revoke a business license because the group wants to be able to actually exist is telling you we will go broke and out of business if the restrictions continue. If we're not allowed to reopen and we're not making any money, that's it. There's no reason to continue. We can't. There's no other option for us but to reopen or go completely bankrupt. New Jersey apparently doesn't care if local business owners go bankrupt, and this is a small business. This isn't part of some massive chain of 20, 30 stores across a state or hundreds of them scattered around the world. This isn't Walmart. This is a small business that is independently owned by entrepreneurs who decided to open up a gym, and they look like brawny dudes, and they probably have like people that go in there and they want to lose weight, they want to gain muscle, they want to work out. The people that are going to work out, much like people who go sunbathing, people who go for a bike ride, tend to not be sick at the time when people are sick. Most of them will stay home. There is no risk to the public by having a gym reopen. Least of all, you're far more risk for having like a restaurant or something like that. Like maybe someone's like they get the sniffles, but they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna have some chicken noodle soup or something. Then I go into the gym. Oh, oh yeah, I feel terrible. I got a temperature of 105. I think I'm gonna go work out, get all sweaty, yeah, and endanger other people at the same time. Like the point is this. There are plenty of businesses out there that cannot operate under the current restrictions, and the restrictions don't do jack anyway. In nations without significant restrictions, you don't see a problem. Again, I keep returning to the anecdote, I'm living in Amsterdam. There are no considerable restrictions anymore. Most of the lockdown era stuff is gone. With the exception of plexiglass guards in front of the cashiers, there's really nothing else, and optional disinfectant wipes. That's the response at the moment, unless you use mass transit. And of course, it has nothing to do with the private business. Okay, it's 100 degrees out and the Dutch didn't invent air conditioning, but put a mask on in the tram as you trundle slowly along, and maybe if it's Pride Month, of course, you know, you might get stuck there for half an hour. So good luck. You'd be melting like you're inside of a fucking can on a burner. And businesses can't survive this shit. What these people are saying is, and trust me, the council that voted to revoke the business license, none of those people have ever owned a business. They don't know what it's like to brand. They don't know what it's like to advertise. They don't know what it's like to work, really. They're probably all career politicians anyway. So the Camden City Council, I guess, was the group involved with this, in Camden County, rather. I can't imagine that this is in the middle of inner city Camden. Decided to revoke the business license. So yeah, no, 2 more jobs lost. More money lost for the state of New Jersey, all because of some paranoid people that don't seem to understand one fundamental underlying thing. You have the right, the voluntary agency, to choose to go to or not go to a business. If you are worried about coronavirus, you know, some people should be. They're at risk and have comorbidity. They're obese, and they got an autoimmune disorder. It's like, okay, well, then take precautions appropriately. Wash your hands extra. Make sure to keep the disinfectant with you. If you go into a business and it appears to you unsafe because you are convinced you'll get coronavirus from the people in the gym because there's not enough social distancing, they didn't have enough sanitary wipes, whatever your concern is, you can leave and not patronize that business. That's it. No, it's a private space. Nobody's forcing you to go to the gym. Now, in some cases, I think people probably should be. Joking, of course. But nobody's forcing you to go to that gym or any gym. Or any particular restaurant or any particular store. But you've got all of these crazy authoritarians trying to force you not to. Trying to tell you what's good for you. I like to think that generally speaking, people have enough agency and definitely the constitutional attitude to make their own private voluntary decisions with regards to businesses. Nobody's forcing you to go to the gym. Nobody's forcing you to go eat shit at Applebee's, which, by the way, only dumbasses eat there because it's so tasteless and disgusting. They probably won't survive either. Half the businesses in the fucking world right now are at least at risk of going under. We're sitting here having a national conversation about rent, and yet we're not letting business owners open? What do you think props up the fucking economy? If you're going to bail everyone out, you're going to need more tax money than we currently have. You'd best wine and dine those small businesses. By the way, now would be a perfect time for small business actually to expand. Entrepreneurs, innovators would be able to take advantage of the situation because, of course, those larger chain stores are all, half of them are still fucked up too. They would be able to innovate, but we're not letting them. We're not even letting them open in half the cases. And the fact is, these people are violating ordinances that don't make any sense and won't help anyone. Everyone in the... Yes, I'm on the treadmill, and I'm going to wear a mask. That would make a whole lot of sense. Let me pass out. That'll be good for my health. I'll pass out, hit my head. Enforcing those restrictions, arguably, it'd open you up to lawsuits. You get some person there overweight anyway, and they've got to wear, a fucking gas mask while using the treadmill or something, and something happens to them. I don't think that New Jersey City Council is going to be paying for their medical bills, now will they? Maybe they should. Maybe people that are like, they asphyxiate because they're fucking, it's 110 degrees out there and they're being forced to wear an N95 mask, maybe they should start suing for medical expenses. And it shouldn't come from the taxpayers either. It should come straight out of the pockets of these rich bitches that run the country. That's about all. Peace out.